why I believe and why I think the best thing I did was not stay in it for the kids, so to speak. I thought I was brought up to believe that was the correct way to do it. Probably just 'cause, I don't know. That was my uh, thing that I thought I should do. I thought that I should do the right thing and stay in it, for my daughter. The reality now, and the reason why I believe that was would have been the wrong thing to do. I stayed in it for about 9 months, and it just I left. I wasn't happy enough. Well, I wasn't happy at all. So I could have stayed in it for my daughter. The reason why I would have wanted to have stayed in it for my daughter is obviously to be able to see her, to be part of her life, to come back from work, to be able to see my kid grow up. That's the ideal. My parents are still together, and that was the other thing that it really pissed me off, that my daughter wasn't going to get a mum and a dad together. Her waking up, and us both being there. She's never experienced that, and that does, break my heart. You could say it's. I don't like the feeling that gives me, but there's nothing I can do about it. That was my fault for not, having protected sex, trusting my partner to be on the pill. You know, they were my errors. I've got to accept that. I have done. So, my daughter's very happy. I'm very happy. I believe she's going to do brilliant in life. But if there's anybody out there thinking that they, that even if they're unhappy, even if the relationship sucks, I want to stay in it because I want to give my, child the parents together. So the reason why that isn't good, in my opinion, is because, especially if you're unhappy as a guy or as a woman in a relationship, if you're not happy, your kids are going to see you in an unhappy relationship. If that relationship is violent, if that relationship is abusive, if you're constantly arguing, then that child from day one will grow up to believe that that's a normal, functional, normal relationship. The fact of the matter, it isn't. It's completely dysfunctional. You both, or one of us, you're both probably unhappy, or certainly one of you is unhappy. And the child is more likely statistically to perpetuate that in their own relationships, because ultimately that's all they know. They'll be like, "This, okay, my partner's he's arguing with me all the time. We're arguing together, or my partner is always cruel to me, or whatever you want to call it." But that's my parents did that. It's normal. Just stay in it. Low self-esteem will keep you in a relationship like that. So I'm really glad looking back that just my nature. I could just tell I was desperate and happy with. Didn't want to be with a mum. Wasn't in love. Trying my best. But ultimately, after 9 months, I couldn't be. I wanted to come home and look forward to seeing my baby daughter. I was coming home dreading, the evening, thinking I just can't bear being in the same room as that woman. And that would have bin terrible. Imagine if I'd have stayed in it, or stupidly got married, or something ridiculous like that, thinking, totally stupid way of thinking about it, thinking that would be the right thing to do because that's what other people expect of me. Is ludicrous. It's really the wrong way to go. No matter how much you want to stay in it for the children. I get why you'd want to. I get why I wanted to. It did boil down to self-esteem, and it boiled down to my conditioning. Ultimately, I thought that you should, I believe because my parents were together that I should be together with my daughter's mum, but completely the wrong circumstances. And like I say, my daughter's doing great. The only thing to be aware of if you're a guy is you will get screwed. You've got to accept this. Just because you're a man, you won't have a right to see your daughter. People might tell you that you do and paint a picture that you have equal rights, but you do not. My experience is basically as soon as you separate, so I went to living back in my own home. Her mum stayed in the home with my daughter. and basically I only could see my daughter if her mum said that I could. Through a verbal agreement, I'd pick her up or meet her or whatever. As soon as things got worse, basically her mum could just withhold my daughter from me. I couldn't do anything about it. I went to see a solicitor to ask, obviously, what can I do about it, and basically I would have to go through the court system. That was it. It was, well, what if when my daughter comes, why can't I keep her with me? And they just said, because your mum can report you for kidnap. As ridiculous as that is, I'm a father, but that's the reality. You will get screwed. If the mother wants the child, you will be completely and utterly screwed. If you've got a lot of money, you've got the finances to try and go through a court process, which I totally disagree with, totally pisses me off. It's completely wrong. But you can pay. The solicitor agency was estimating in the UK it cost me about £5,000 to go through court proceedings, and then maybe the judge might decide that I can see my daughter every other weekend. That was or one day in the week, whatever weekend. The decision would be taken out of my hands, her mother's hands, and my daughter's hands. Now that person making decision knows none of us. You're just going through the family court system, which is making the solicitors a lot of money. Like I say, and then you're in a tied agreement where you have to fulfil that. And that just sucks. But that's just something to be aware of. If you're a man and you are going to separate, then it's going to be shit. You've got to accept that. The best piece of advice that I could give my former self would be make damn well sure that you take control of the contraception. So regardless of what she says to you, I'm on the pill, I want to feel you, those type of things, wear a frigging condom, whatever you could do, make sure that you can control it, because like I say, you're screwed if you're a dude, and that's just the way it is. I don't agree with it, I can bitch about it all I want, but that's the harsh truth of it. So hopefully you can get some clarity maybe from this video. It might shine, a light onto an area that you didn't think, and I didn't. Somebody had to point out to me, and it only happened after I'd actually left, years after, to point out that if you stay in a dysfunctional relationship, your children will more than likely have dysfunctional relationships themselves, and I don't want my daughter, obviously, to have that, because I don't think it's necessary. I think if we, work on ourselves, build our self-esteem, become confident in who we are and love ourselves, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you're going to put up with, and you're certainly not going to, approach somebody that is a bad fit for you. So I'll leave it at that. I know it's a bit negative, but it needs to be said. Hopefully it helps somebody in the position perhaps I was in, and you're trying to hang in there and making yourself more and more unhappy. And like I say, the children will pick up on absolutely everything. So I'll leave it at that. Good day.